What's up, Thrashers, and welcome back once again to the Thrash Maniac 99 YouTube channel, and I am back with yet another episode of Under the Radar. And this week, we got two releases that I was curious about that I wanted to do a quick review of for each, and well, let's get started. Both of these albums came out September 27th. First, we're going to talk about Ingurgitating Oblivion, Ontology of Nought. This comes out on Willowtip Records, and this is a German avant-garde / technical death metal band. Very much wanted to check this band out because I saw their Metal Archives page, and I saw that some of the bands they were being compared to, I'm like, well, this might be something up my alley. I will say, this album, I think, is the longest album I've heard this year. Only 5 tracks, but it clocks over 73 minutes. It is long. All these songs are long. In fact, the shortest track was like 10.5 minutes, and the longest tracks almost approach 19 minutes. So yeah, these guys are just filling everything in with music. And of course, drums done by the drummer and founding member of Defeated Sanity, Levi Gruber. And I gotta say, as far as what you get on here, there's, of course, long songs, atmosphere, ambience, dissonant clean melodies, but also dissonant brutality. It gets really technical to the level of tech death bands like Obscura and Spawn of Possession, those kind of bands. It sounds downright evil for the most part. It gets blackened, like particularly the vocals feel very black metal rather than death metal. It gets into like odd time signature shifts. It even has a few thrashy moments. There's some awesome shred. Even some like tasty proggy clean guitars. Like they do get a little bit progressive at times on this album when it comes down to some of the lavish atmosphere. It also gets really cosmic. There's some solid groove. Even some like moody female vocals show up from time to time on here. Some bass melodies, triplet chugs, breakdowns. But the big thing that makes this album stand out to me, the jazz fusion influences, particularly in some of the sections where they just jam into like jazz fusion, but also the solos. Lots of jazz fusion guitar solos. Now, the only major complaint I have about this album, it is very busy and very scattershot, as well as I feel like there are like these long ambient sections that just drag out for too long. I feel like if they would have trimmed the fat on the ambient sections on this album, you might have been able to condense this album down to about 65 minutes, and I think it would have made this album much stronger. But overall, if you are a fan of bands like Gorguts, Ulcerate, I would also say Mithras, and dare I say Cynic, check this out. I'm going to give this 4 out of 5. Despite my complaints, this is a great album. But now on to the other album I wanted to talk about, and that is Vicious Blade with Relentless Force. This came out on Redefining Darkness Records, and this is the debut album from this Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania-based, I want to say blackened thrash, but I've heard some people call them death thrash or even like thrash mixed with crust punk. I don't hear any crust punk or really much death metal apart from the vocals at times. I'd say this is more blackened thrash. It's super aggressive, very DB driven. It sounds evil. And also, for those who don't know, the frontwoman of this band is Clarissa from Castrator. This is her band, and while if you've heard of her stuff in Castrator, in that band she goes for more of the low gutturals. Here you get more like low roars, but also some like feral blackened screams. Like Clarissa's got probably one of the best extreme metal voices for a lady I have heard in a long time. Like feral screams, low nasty roars. She even does some like punky shouts on a track. But as far as musically, yeah, it's aggressive, it's thrashy. There's some classic heavy metal nods that come up here and there, as well as like some speed metal parts. And even the closing track starts off rather moody with somber melodies before it just punches you right in the penis with back to their blackened thrash sound. So I would say the best summarize this album musically, it feels like if you took the evil aggression of Slayer mixed with like some of the speed metal and classic metal nods of a modern band like Hellripper, the nasty punk attack of like blackened punk attack from early Sodom, and the riffs of early Metallica. Like the riff work on here made me think of Kill 'Em All and Ride the Lightning, like real early Metallica. This album seems to find the sweet spot in all four of those bands into one. So if you're a fan of Hellripper, Slayer, Sodom, Metallica, check this out. I'm also giving this 4 out of 5. This is a great, fun, nasty album. But of course, those are just my opinions. What did you guys think? Of course, links to the albums will be in the description box for you guys to check out yourselves. Thank you for watching. Like, comment, share, subscribe, all that fun stuff. Keep your horns high and your dreams wet.
Thank you for your patronage.